Hello and welcome. My name is Sue Hopkins. I'm the Partnerships and Events Manager here in ACTS. And I'd just like to welcome you to this very short little webinar, giving you an outline of what the difference is to the new two-stage application process is for the new 2017 Green Gown Awards. So this webinar should only take about 5 or 10 minutes, and it's just to give us an update on what's new for 2017. So there are 5 slides, and the first thing is that we've introduced a new two-stage process. And we've introduced this for a number of reasons. One is to fall in line with the other regional award schemes that fit in with the International Green Gown Awards. 2 is to make the process easier and thus more streamlined for applicants. 3, to encourage more applicants, as there's now a much less onerous process at stage 1. To allow applicants to address feedback from the judges, resulting in a better quality of application. And as a result of this, it means the applications are more competitive and thus more likely to succeed in the international awards. And this applies for both the organisational applications and for the individual nominations. So both of these will be undertaking 2 stages. So moving on to slide 2, what are the differences? So the first one is that the stage 1 application is much shorter. It's now a maximum of 4 pages. So firstly, you must still adhere to the page limits, and you can delete any instructional text that's not needed, as you've been able to do in the past. However, you must not delete the stage 2 pages, as these will be needed if you're successful at stage 2, and the form will be sent back to you to complete. So next, no marketing material except for your logo will be asked for at stage 1. Like I said, the only thing we'll ask for at stage 1 now is your application form and your logo. And that logo will be used if you're a finalist in the finalist announcement. All other marketing materials will be asked for later on in the process. So those applicants that are shortlisted at stage 1 and asked to submit to stage 2 will be our 2017 finalists. And as a finalist, you'll then be invited to submit the second part of the application form along with your marketing information. Only finalists will be asked to complete a stage 2 application form. So if you're not invited to submit to stage 2, then unfortunately you've not been successful as a finalist. You will receive notification at this time, but all feedback will be provided after the award ceremony. We do understand this can be frustrating, but from a resourcing perspective, we're just unable to do so at this time. So thanks for your understanding, but all feedback will be provided after the awards. So one of the main differences, the fact in the new two-stage process, is that judges will be able to provide feedback to applicants, which you can then address. So judges at stage 1 judging, judges will provide feedback, and this will be included in your return stage 1 form. And this is the most important aspect of the new 2-stage form, and it's vital that you pay particular attention to this. Again, you must stick to the page limit, which in this case is 8 pages, and this does include your stage 1 form. And again, you may delete any instructional text to make more room. But it's also important to note that your stage 1 form is locked. You cannot make any changes at this stage, but there will be space for any updated information at stage 2. So as I just said, your stage 1 information is locked. You cannot edit this information that you've submitted at stage 1, but you can add any updates in your stage 2 application. Also, new for this year, that any information that makes a direct claim, such as first of only, will be fact-checked by the awards team. So please do make sure that any direct statements that you make, such as the first of its kind or the first, etc., you must make sure that that statement is correct. And finally on this slide, the stage 1 deadline is the 21st of June. So slide 3, what to do next? So if you're invited to complete your stage 2 application form, you will be notified by email and asked to submit. You'll have about 6 weeks to do this. If you haven't received an email asking to complete for stage 2, then unfortunately you've been unsuccessful. However, you will receive an email saying this as well. So like I said, the biggest change to stage 2 is that you'll need to address the judge's feedback. And this is the most critical thing at this stage. Judges will be looking for that feedback, so you must ensure that you do that. Failure to do so means your application will not be looked on favourably. There are other questions to answer at this stage, as well as an area to provide updated information. However, as I said, addressing those judges' comments is the most critical thing at this stage. One thing to ensure as well is that you use the same form. So judges will refer to your stage 1 information during the judging process, but that stage 1 information is locked. So your original form will be returned back to you, and you'll be expected to fill in the stage 2 questions. Again, you must make sure you adhere to the word count, and also take note of your reference number, as you'll need this to complete the stage 2 online form. And you'll update your stage 2 form to the website as you did with stage 1. So the all-important deadline to remember for this one is the 6th of September. That is when the stage 2 deadline is. Now, at stage 1, you will also be asked to submit your marketing form, but the deadline for this is different. It's the 9th of August. So this needs to be completed, as I said, within 2 weeks of getting a successful stage 1 application. This is so that the awards team has time to use all this information for all their marketing preparation. And photos are also needed at this time. The only difference here is that if you're nominating for an individual nomination, your photos will be asked for at stage 1. Okay, now this information is provided in the guidance notes, so we do ask that you do read the guidance notes. And the other thing that we ask for at this stage, if you are sending in a nomination and sending in photos, please make sure you send in at least 1 head and shoulder shot and 1 activity shot. So this is to ensure consistency of photos within all the marketing. So one of the final changes for this year is that all finalists will now be asked to submit videos. If you're a finalist, this is now mandatory. Instructions will be given at stage 1 when asked to complete stage 2, but it will be like previous years. Now, we know this is very onerous for people, so we don't encourage people to get professional videos done, but we do encourage you to perhaps think about getting your students on campus to do it. People can put together pretty simple videos now on a pretty good budget. But as I said, for this year, all finalists are expected to make a video, because all finalist videos will be played at the award ceremony now, not just the winners and highly commendeds. And this is because we really appreciate the effort that everyone's gone to submit these videos. So we want to support that effort and ensure we show them on the night, as well as showing them after the award ceremony. So we want to promote your initiatives as much as possible. The gala dinner will now take place on the 2nd of November. At Story Hall at RMIT University in Melbourne, and it's going to be a great night. The venue is amazing, so we really do encourage everyone to come along. So just the final thing I just wanted to point out in this webinar is that there are 2 new categories for 2017. The first one is called Creating Impact. This category recognises institutions that have achieved significant sustainability-related outcomes on campus or within their community using minimal and or limited resources. So this award replaces the Best Newcomer category. We still wanted a space for institutions which have less resources. Typically they are smaller, but not always. So we wanted to give them a category that they could compete. The feedback we have received is that many institutions do not have the same budget or resources as some of the bigger institutions, and they never will. And they'll never be on the same scale. So we'd like to be able to recognise them for what they consider to be innovative or has a big impact at their institutions. And we really do agree with that. So this category is for those that either have a limited budget, limited resources, limited staff, one or all of the above, or anything else. And yet they're still doing fantastic sustainability things and creating a really big impact, but they just don't have the same level of resources. So it can be about any aspect of sustainability. And judges will really be looking for those institutions that can express the link between the resources and the impact. And then the second category that's new for 2017 is the Research and Development category. This category recognises the importance of the impact of research and development activity by tertiary education as a driver of sustainable development. Now, this is new to Australasia, although it has been part of the UK scheme for many years. It's a hard category to crack, but obviously for many institutions, it's their core business. So we felt that it was time that this was included in the lineup. So this is about measuring the impact of the research and development undertaken as opposed to the merits of the R&D itself. Now, this is because it's hard to measure otherwise. So, in submitting an application, you need to ensure that you provide evidence of how the research and development has been implemented or used, and this is the crucial driver, the evidence to support the research and development. Also, the research and development must have been undertaken by the submitting institution and either implemented directly or adopted by the wider community. So research findings or technologies implemented but not conducted at the submitting institution are not eligible unless they can demonstrate further continual improvement since adoption. So that is the new research and development category. And finally, the last slide is just, do you have any questions? If you've got any questions, just ask us, the award team. There's our contact details below. All the information, however, is contained in the guidance notes for participants, so do take a look. But we obviously wanted to give you a little bit more guidance on what's different for this year, because obviously this is a new two-stage process, and we know that there are obviously questions out there about the process. So we hope this little webinar has been informative. If there's any questions you have, large or small, nothing is ever silly, please do contact the team and we'll be very happy to help you. So thanks ever so much for listening, and good luck for all your applications, and we look forward to receiving them.